Tesla has just launched a new version of the Model Y. It's rear-wheel drive, it's long range, and it has apparently 820 kilometers of range. That's CLTC. But even if you adjust that for WLTP, this is the longest range Tesla Model Y that Tesla have ever sold. And I mean, by far the longest. YouTube's new algorithm means that you're often not getting all of our videos in your feed. Pretty sure you're probably not seeing a lot of them. In the description, there is a link to our newsletter. Click on that and you can get an update every day of all the latest news in the electric car industry. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. And if your country gets the Chinese-made Tesla Model Y, there's a good chance that you'll get this car as well as an option very soon. And that could be good. I personally think this is the Model Y I would be buying. If I was in the market for this kind of car, and I hadn't already didn't already own an XPeng G6 and a Zeekr 7X, then I would be very interested in this. Why would I be so interested in this? Well, because it's only a few $1,000s more than the base model with lithium iron phosphate batteries. Now, this version is not the German version, guys, and the US version. There's a version of this car that's made in the United States, long-range rear-wheel drive, Model Y, long-range rear-wheel drive, Model Y made in Germany. Both of these are a little different to Tesla's Chinese one. The Chinese one is basically the base model Model Y, with an LG Chem 78 kilowatt hour battery. But as a result of something Tesla's done, it has more range than the German and American made versions. Now, why would I say this? Well, actually, if you extrapolate and do the changeover from CLTC to WLTP, this car will actually end up having about 660 kilometers of range. 660 kilometers of WLTP range. So yeah, this is incredibly efficient. Under the base model, people have complained about the 8 speakers in that car. They say it's not good enough. And the sound system, Tesla is well known for their sound systems. They're amazing. They're really good quality. But the base model sound system in China, people say it's not good enough. And they're saying, well, this new version of the Model Y, right? It's $40,000 US, meaning it's more expensive than every one of its rivals. So when you hear the media say Tesla's cutting prices in China, Tesla's discounting its cars in China, that's all complete lies. It's not based on any facts. It's not on actually Tesla's, because Tesla's cars, if you compare them to their rivals in China, they're more expensive in every single case. And they have less standard specifications. So this whole claim by the media to say that Tesla was had initiated, remember there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of media organizations who printed these titles saying, Tesla created the price war in China. This is what Tesla are doing this. So many headlines. You can bring it up yourself. You can easily find these. There's just thousands of them. It's just ridiculous because the price of a Tesla is literally on average $10,000 US more expensive than an equivalent car from a Chinese automaker. $10,000 US. That's like 15,000 Australian dollars. It's not even close. So this is kind of an expensive car. But there is one caveat here to the price. It's a little misleading. And that doesn't mean it's cheap, but it certainly does mean it's cheaper than it appears. Tesla will give you 5 years of 0% interest finance. 5 years, 0% interest. That's probably worth about $5,000. It's still more expensive than its rivals, but you'd have to be crazy not to get the finance. Even if you've got the cash, it doesn't make sense if Tesla's going to give you free money because, Tesla's losing money on that deal. Inflation is going to be at least 2.5% per year, meaning you're getting a several $1,000 discount by getting the finance from Tesla. So anyway, what do we know about this car? Well, it's the same car as the Model Y. It costs $40,500 US in China. I believe it's going to come to other markets like probably New Zealand, Australia, Malaysia, Thailand. The UK gets the German version now, I believe. But if the UK, I don't think it does. So the UK might get this as well. Like I said, Japan, South Africa potentially. Right-hand drive car markets should get this car, which is good news. Give you an idea on the pricing though. It's 9.5% more expensive than the base model. So it'll probably come out in Australia to around about 65,000 Australian dollars. Maybe 64,000. That's going to be the approximate price in Australia for this car. Very competitive when you think that this is going to have probably about 660 kilometers of WLTP range. That's a lot of range. Now, you're going to get that in the real world? Probably not. But anyway, it's still pretty good range, yeah? The 5-seat Model Y lineup, now there is also an all-wheel drive version. The all-wheel drive version has a CLTC range of 750 kilometers. So that's how I've worked out the WLTP range. The WLTP range of that version overseas is 600 kilometers, meaning minus 150. So if you minus 150 from the 821 kilometers of range, you're coming up to about 670 kilometers of range. I'm just sort of minusing another 10 kilometers to make sure we're looking at a minimum number here. So minimum 660 kilometers of range for this car, which is amazing efficiency because it's not a very big battery. It's only a 78 kilowatt hour NMC battery from the South Korean battery manufacturer called LG Chem or LG Energy Solutions. So power, it's got a little bit more power than the base model. Single motor, rear wheel drive, 225 kilowatt, which is 302 horsepower. And that means it'll do 0 to 100 in 5.6 seconds. Not super fast, but I mean, that's more than fast enough. I don't think you need a faster car than that. So like I said, this is the Model Y I personally would be looking at going for because you're going to get an additional 80 kilometers of range versus the performance version. The performance version, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely awesome. And I love that too. But it's a lot more expensive. I mean, it's a lot more expensive. My solar and batteries, I've got a 50 kilowatt hour battery here and I've got a big solar array. So I pay $0 for electricity. That's including charging my electric car. Resync Solar is the company that I used. I'll put a link to them in the description below. So how are Tesla getting this kind of range from the Model Y in China? And why are they getting more range from the Model Y in China versus the German-made version and the US-made version? Well, one of the reasons I think is it's got smaller wheels, 18-inch wheels and relatively small tires as well. So the overall circumference of those wheels and tire packages, it's quite small. That's how Tesla's been able to do it. One of the reasons why anyway, why they've been able to get so much range from the Tesla Model 3 long range in China. They've applied the same principles to this car. And I've heard that XPeng are going to be doing the same thing, which is interesting. So Xiaopeng, they're going to be releasing their new G6 and they're going to give you an option of 18-inch wheels for that car as well, which would obviously boost the range for that vehicle too. So a good decision here, I think, from car manufacturers to move away from the sort of pointless large wheels that are on a lot of different cars today. Pointlessly large because they don't do anything positive at all for you. Nothing. I mean, some people say they look good, but to me, I know function follows form. So I think function is more important than just pure aesthetics. But anyway, not everyone agrees with me. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. So what this means, guys, there's now 4 versions of the Model Y available in China and will be in many markets around the world as well when this vehicle starts to be manufactured for overseas markets. To give you an idea on the prices, the base model, very expensive, like I said, $36,900 US for the Model Y. That's with a lithium iron phosphate battery. The long range rear wheel drive, this car here is $40,400. So that means it's $3,500 US more expensive. Probably will end up being about 5,000 Australian dollars more expensive when this car hits Australia. Maybe 5,500. So it could be about $63,000 to $64,000. Then there's the long range all-wheel drive that costs $43,900. Then there's the Model Y L, which is $47,500. That's the 6-seat Model Y, right? With different seats, it's got a bigger screen in the front. It's got a bunch of extra things that the standard Model Y long range all-wheel drive doesn't get. By the way, China does not have the Model Y Performance yet. So you can't buy the Model Y Performance right now in China. The Australian version is made in Germany. It's kind of interesting why they're doing this. Model Y dimensions, it's 4.8 meters long. Same size as an XPeng G6 and a Zeekr 7X. Those 3 cars are all very, very similar in size. Now, this is not a budget version of the Model Y. When I say it's the same spec as the base model, it does still get that 8-inch rear touchscreen. It's got a 15.4-inch front screen. Passengers can watch music, movies, games from any seat, control seat heating from the rear as well. So, yeah, it does get that budget speaker system, but in every other way, this is a pretty well-specified car at this price level. In China, it's not that well specified, because at this price level in China, you could probably get a fridge, heads-up display. Um, some models have leather seat options. There's other stuff you're going to get in China that you don't get in a Tesla, but yeah, it's, I think, a really good car, and I think it's smart for Tesla to focus on range and to focus on the way the car handles. So, that new suspension system for Tesla is an improvement in ride quality. I think they focus on the things that probably really affect your day-to-day driving more than anything else. Having a good charging network, having good range, having a really good infotainment system. Tesla does these things very, very well. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Bye-bye.